Trading is going to be a marathon, right? It's not a sprint. You have to have a complete long-term perspective to get the outcomes you need. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 8 rules that I would follow if I had to start work completely to become profitable in 2025, 2026, or whenever you're watching this. And if you live and follow these rules, especially the ones I'm going to talk about at the end of the video, you'll have a much better and easier chance. And potentially, if you actually have discipline to stick to all of these rules, fast track your learning curve by an exponential amount that I wish I knew when I first started. But the thing is, you're going to learn through losses and learn through experience. So if you're going about it on your own, you're going to learn the hard way, right? That's why these videos here on YouTube that I'm making, that other people make, are to help you speed up your learning curve so you're not blowing through cash, blowing through time, and honestly not getting anything out of it. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is to create a well-defined playbook. Now, a lot of people have no idea what a well-defined playbook even is or what it means. Now, you have to be incredibly mechanical to the point where if you were to write down exactly what you want to do on a daily basis, you could give it to a robot or give it to somebody else and they could do exactly what you do. And this playbook has to be defined for every single market condition. So what I do is every single thing I do, every single thing I track is based off of market condition, right? Are we at all-time highs? Are we in a bear market, bull market? Are we consolidating? Is it super volatile? And I'll have all of my setups defined for all of these different conditions. So I could give you my entire playbook. You could read it and replicate exactly what I do in real time with no issue. Obviously, you have to know what things are, definitions of words and terms and things like that. But if you knew, you could replicate it without a single bit of issue. And most people think their issue when it comes to trading is going to be psychologically based, but they don't even know if their mechanical strategy works. They don't have data to back test. They don't have a playbook. They don't know what they're looking for on a daily basis. So they end up just burning themselves because they're straight up gambling, right? They blame psychology on a lack of discipline and a lack of a mechanical strategy, which is step number 1 for whatever you're doing. You can't classify your problem as psychology if you don't even know if you have a mechanical, well-defined playbook that actually works. So for every single session, every single condition, every single entry trigger, every single setup, you write down a playbook. I need to see this happen, this amount of volume at this specific time, and I need to see this as my stop loss, this is my take profit. And if this happens, this is a setup. This is an A+ setup. Now do that for everything, every single scenario, and you'll have a much better time in the market. Now, bring us into number 2. Backtest your strategies regularly. Not just, every once in a while to get a win rate, but I'm talking about regularly. To have a legit serious win rate, you need thousands of trades backtest in the book, right? Ready to go. So you can't do that in a week or in a month, and even in a year. Backtesting thousands of trades takes a lot of time. So every single week, backtest a little bit. And the conditions in the market will always change. So what I like to do personally is I look at the condition we're currently in, then I go back and look for a similar market condition, then I start backtesting that condition so I have a good sense of direction when I'm trading live. So I kind of know what to expect, have a decent bit of practice in the condition that we're currently in. So when I'm actually trading live, it's not, new, it's not something I forget about. It's just something I am used to, and it keeps my mind sharp and my trading sharp every single week. And this will bring me on to rule number 3. Journal all of your trades consistently, even if you do have a bad week or a bad month where you're over trading, revenge trading, taking like 50 trades in a single day. Track all of them. Your entry triggers, the triggers that cause you to revenge trade. And the thing is, I mentor a lot of students on a daily basis. And the biggest thing I see is we have lots of people who have been trading for a long time. They go on crazy win streaks where they win back to back to back to back to back. And they have 1 or 2 days that blows their account. They take massive amounts of trades, massive amounts of loss. They don't track it and they move on thinking they're going to get better. But the same thing keeps happening again and again and again because they don't track the losses. They don't track the bad shit that happens. What caused them to go on tilt? Did you get wicked out and go straight to TP? Did you get your TP get skipped by a point and get stopped out? Did you get distracted and miss a setup? What happened that caused you to miss the trade? Track that down, right? Honestly, you have to be super consistent about it. I personally love to track my trades right after the session, so it's fresh in my mind. And if I can't do it right after the session, what I do is I record everything. I record my face, my screen, my data, and I go back and I look at it before I track it so I know exactly what to write down, because you're not going to remember a full 2 hours worth of trading if you go back and track it the weekend or the end of the day. You're not going to remember shit. So pick a consistent, regular time to track your trades and track at that time every single day, and you'll slowly start to improve as you go, because then you'll see exactly what you're doing wrong, what you need to do more of, what you need to do less of, and it'll compound over and over and over again. Now, this will put me on to number 4. You shouldn't base your success on P&L, whether you're up $10, down $50. It doesn't matter. You should base your success on consistency, on following your rule. If you can go a month following every single rule, that's success, right? I could full port and gamble and make $1 million in 1 month. Does that mean I'm successful, or did I just get lucky, right? So if you're basing your P&L on honestly, or not your P&L, if you're basing your success on P&L, it makes zero sense, because you could have a month where you lose a bunch of money, but you learned so much that the next month you come back and you're much better. Was that month where you lost money a unsuccessful month? To me, I would consider it being successful because you learned a lot, what's going to propel you forward. And again, I could have a month where I gamble and make $1 million. Is that a successful month, right? Is that a successful indication of my trading, or did I just get lucky? So the next rule is going to be keep your risk consistent every single time. And this is big, because this is how you actually lose progress. If you go on, risking $100 consistently every single day, then you get confident, you get cocky, and you start risking $500. In a couple of trades, you can wipe weeks or months worth of progress because you did not keep your risk consistent. So no matter, how confident you are, how good it looks, don't mess with your risk until you have months, if not years, worth of data to back up that what you're doing actually works. This is something that for me, honestly, played a huge factor into it, because when I first started trading, I thought I was a shit, right? I thought I was making all this money. I was super confident. I brought like $8,000 or $6,000 account after 32K. So what I did was I instantly sized up. Like I had a $42,000 account, right? And guess what? I brought that 42K up to 132K. Right, 132K, guess what happened then? I lost all of it because I was sizing up my risk based on my P&L getting bigger and bigger and bigger, not based on consistency, not based on months and years worth of data that shows me I can do what I can do every single day and be successful. And this will lead on to tip and rule number 5. Just have a game plan, right? Not a game plan, but a pre-market game plan. Basically, every single day I wake up like an hour or so before the market opens. And what we do is draft down every single scenario. So first thing I do is go to Forex Factory, check if there's any red folder news. If there is red folder news, I make sure to avoid holding any open risk or any open position into red folder news. The next thing I do is I go find the macros. I go find the overall trend of the market, right? I want to follow the trend. The trend, again, you hear this all the time, is going to be your friend. And simple, just putting this simply, if you look at any chart, right, the average time we stay following a trend is much greater than the average time we are breaking a trend. So if you follow the trend, on average, your P&L is going to be much, much better. So follow the trend. The next thing I do is look for my key levels on the chart where I want to take a trade to make sure that I'm only looking for high valued setups. So I'm looking for supply and demand levels. Once I have these levels, I draw out my scenario. So if price gets to X supply zone, right, we have a bearish trend. I'm looking for a structure shift with this as an entry trigger, putting my stop loss here and taking profit here. And if this doesn't happen by lunchtime, I won't take a trade. And I do that for every single scenario, every single day, every single morning. And that means every time I go into the market, I know exactly what to look for. So if I don't see it, I don't trade, right? And if you don't do this and you go into the market blindly, you are 100% gambling. You're 100% going to lose in the long term if you don't have a plan that you could repeat on a daily basis. You could track, get really good mechanical information from, and something that you can actually scale up consistently. So super important pre-market plan. Don't be waking up at 9:29 right when the bell rings and trying to wing it, because again, that's literally gambling. So if you want to gamble, go for it. But rule number 6, give trading the time and effort it requires. Like, it's not something that you can make be easy at the very start. And what that means is you see all these people who make it look so easy. Like, I mean, I trade for maybe 2 hours a day, and I make a lot of money, but it took me a lot of time and pain to get to this position. I didn't just start out by doing this. So it required years of effort, years and years of time and years of effort, like literally working 80 hours a week, job, pay my bills, then trading. Right? I literally took it. It's like you're going to get paid more than a lawyer. You're going to get paid more than a doctor, right? And it takes them years and years and years and years of school to get those payouts, right? So why would you think a job like trading that gives you much more money than, a serious job like being a lawyer or a doctor would be any easier than it would take to become a lawyer or a doctor? Sorry if that didn't make sense, but it's something that will pay you significantly, right? Something that is so valuable. It's a skill that is so impressive. It's a skill that not many people can do. Why do you think it will be easy? Why do you think you're not going to invest a lot of time, a lot of effort into this one skill, right? So give it the time and effort it requires, meaning waking up every single day before the market opens, spending hours back testing, spending hours charting, hours planning, hours tracking every single day for years, right? Know that's your path. Know that's your plan. I think of it like a college degree, right? If you put in 4 years into this and you don't get anything back, you're doing something wrong. So if you think about it like, okay, I'm gonna put 4 years into trading, eventually I'll get my degree, and you will if you put in the right time and effort. So the last rule is gonna be to stop copying traders on social social media. Most of what you see is bullshit, does not work. You're not going to buy a Lambo. You're not going to get a Rolex in a year. That shit does not happen, right? And there's so much bullshit out there. What I recommend you do is find one strategy, one entry trigger, one setup, stick to that till you master it. You really only need one thing to make an insane amount of money from the market. And then once you master that one thing, you start adding on more and more and more and more. And this is the one thing that I noticed with my mentorship students that work out the best. They come to me having all these crazy things thrown out there, and I tell them, okay, we're going to sit down here. We're going to look for this, this, and this every day. That's it. Super simple. You don't see this, you don't do nothing. And the amount of success I see from using a specific system, because it's mechanical, it's simple. There's no guesswork. You know what to look for, you know what not to look for. If you don't see it, you don't do shit. And it's something that I have proven with my own system. I have results for, I have win rates for, I know exactly when this works, how much to risk. And I give them all of that in like a spoon-fed, literally playbook that they can look at every single day and just replicate, right? And this is how they see success so fast. This is how I have had some students start making a fuck ton of money in 6 months. I'm not saying that's going to be you. No income claims. I don't know who the fuck you are. You could be, you could be dumb, right? But it's possible by making it simple, not copying everybody, not going from strategy to strategy because this doesn't work at this time. This looks cool. This guy posted a Lambo. This guy posted a mansion. I want to copy him. Don't do that shit. Stop copying people. Be yourself. Do you. Make your own system. Every trader is different, right? You're going to be your own system. You're going to be your own self when it comes down to it, guys. But that is all of the rules I would start following right now if you want to be profitable in 2025 or in 2026. Now, we do have some spots open for our mentorship, basically where you get to watch me trade live every single day, have one-on-one calls with me and other people, group or weekly Sunday live charting sessions, weekly tracking sessions, a bunch of honestly free education, not free education or premium education that we have stacked on there, and a lot more. I'll leave a link down below to apply. And without further ado, guys, I'll see you on the next video. Take care.